Chapter 1. The phone buzzed against my conference table. I saw the name. My mother. I let it ring twice before I picked up. Elena. Her voice cracked. Your cousin needs 150,000. I waited. For what? Wedding. She said it like I already knew. House. He needs it now. I leaned back in my chair. My team watched me from their seats. I didn't care. Thomas called me, I said. At work. He asked for money. I hung up. He's desperate. He's 26. Elena. No. My mother's breathing changed. I knew that sound. It came before the storm. You selfish, she stopped. Started again. He's your blood. Your father's only nephew. You think your father would want this? You think he'd want you turning your back? There it was. The dead father card. Always the dead father card. My father died protecting people. He didn't die so I could fund his brother's gambling. I pulled up my laptop. Opened the encrypted file. The one I named Goliath. Mom. What? I have a spreadsheet. She went quiet. 18 years old. You took 3,000 from Dad's survivor benefits. You gave it to Aunt Carol for Thomas's private kindergarten. Elena, that was 19. I applied for student loans. You said we had no money. That same month, you took 5,000 to replace Carol's broken bracelet. Thomas broke it. You don't. 20. I worked 14 hours at a diner. I sent you 3,000 for groceries. 3 days later, Thomas wore new Jordans. I saw the receipt in Carol's post. Elena, please. I kept reading. Date. Amount. Lie. Date. Amount. Lie. 10 years of receipts. 10 years of breadcrumbs I collected in the dark. I hadn't forgotten a single one. 82,000, I said. $470. That's what you took. That's what you gave them. Your father would. Dad isn't here. My voice didn't shake. You made sure of that when you spent his money on people who never loved him. She started crying. Loud. Wet. Theater. Elena, I'm your mother. 2 options. She stopped. Pay me back. All of it. Or sign papers. Legal separation. You walk away. I walk away. Elena. 3rd option. I stared at my screen. I sue you for misappropriation of survivor benefits. I put it in court. Everyone knows. Silence. Then screaming. Aunt Carol grabbed the phone. I heard her voice cut through. Ungrateful, you think you're better than us? You think money makes you something? We changed your diapers. We fed you when your mother. You didn't feed me. You stole from me. Your cousin will die. He wants a house. He needs. Send me the hospital bill. Send me the pharmacy receipts. Show me where Thomas is dying. Silence. He's in debt. Carol's voice cracked. He made mistakes. We need. Stop. I cut her off. 24 hours. You pay or you sign, or I bring a lawyer. I hung up. Then I sent the spreadsheet. Screenshot. Everything. My mother called back. I didn't answer. The next morning I walked into the office. I had a video call. German clients. Major deal. 8 figures. 20 minutes in. The conference room door burst open. My assistant's face was white. Elena, she whispered. Your family. They're downstairs. I looked at the screen. Apologized in German. Asked for 10 minutes. The elevator doors opened. My mother sat on the floor. Aunt Carol beside her. Both crying. Both loud. Thomas stood behind them. Red eyes. Shaking hands. Perfect. My daughter. My mother screamed. My cold, cold daughter won't help her own family. 150,000. Carol shouted. She makes millions. She drives a German car. She has a penthouse. And my son is dying. Dying from what? I asked. They didn't answer. Carol lunged at me. I stepped back. A crowd formed. My colleagues. The security guards. Everyone stared. Thomas, I said. He flinched. Your girlfriend. The one who's pregnant. She's standing behind the pillar. He turned. Somewhere in the lobby, a girl in a cheap dress leaned against a wall. She scrolled on her phone. Her stomach was flat. Her face was bored. He froze. I pulled out my phone. Security! I spoke loud enough for everyone. Please remove these people. If they resist, call the police. You can't. I can. I turned to the crowd. She's my mother. Those are my relatives. They want money they aren't owed. Elena. My mother grabbed my sleeve. I pulled free. Call them, I said. I have video. I have audio. I have everything. Thomas stepped forward. I'll kill myself. His voice cracked. Right now. Outside. You want that? You want my blood on you? I looked at him. Then I pointed my phone at his face. You want to do that on camera? He couldn't answer. The police will be here soon. I pressed record. 10 minutes later, the sirens came. 2 cruisers. 4 officers. They took my mother. They took Carol. They took Thomas. My boss appeared beside me. Elena. I turned. Your family? Former, I said. He nodded. Walked away. I texted my lawyer. Asterisk find me a private investigator. Asterisk. Asterisk get me everything. Asterisk. The reply came fast. Asterisk on it. Asterisk. I pocketed the phone. The elevator closed. I went back to my meeting. I spoke German. I closed the deal. I didn't think about the woman on the floor. But that night, alone in my apartment, I opened the file again. I read every number, every date, every lie. Then I closed it. Something was wrong. The story didn't match. Wedding, house, none of it added up. Thomas didn't cry for houses. He cried for himself. And my mother didn't beg for weddings. She begged for survival. I needed the truth. Tomorrow, I told myself. Tomorrow I'd get it. I shut the laptop. The apartment went dark. Somewhere across town, a mother cried. Somewhere in a basement, a cousin hid from something worse than debt. And somewhere in the file I just closed, the real story was waiting. I just didn't know it yet. Chapter 2. The detective arrived at my office. He looked like a retired soldier. Sharp eyes. Silent hands. No small talk. 3 days, he said. I'll get everything. I paid him half up front. Dig deep, I said. Bank accounts. Phone calls. Hidden debts. He nodded and left. I didn't sleep that night. 2 days passed. My phone stayed quiet. No calls from my mother. That worried me more than screaming. On the 3rd evening, an email arrived. Encrypted. Heavy attachments. I opened it alone. My living room went dark. The first photo showed my uncle. His name was Robert. My mother's brother. He sat at a poker table. Red eyes. Sweaty face. Desperate hands. The second photo showed a loan document. $312,000. Interest compounded weekly. The third photo showed Robert's front door. Red paint sprayed across the wall. Pay or die. I scrolled down. More photos. Broken furniture. Cracked windows. Blood on the floor. Then I found the audio files. I clicked play. Robert's voice filled my apartment. I lost it all. Every penny. The loan sharks want blood. Carol's voice answered. Then we get it from Elena. She won't give it. Her mother will ask. She won't ask. She'll beg. Thomas spoke next. I have a girlfriend. She'll fake a pregnancy. We'll say the baby needs a house. She's not pregnant. She'll act. She's good at acting. Robert laughed. Then we go to her office. We make a scene. We cry on camera. Elena hates attention, Carol said. She'll pay to make us leave. And if she doesn't... Thomas laughed too. Then we kill me on live stream. I stopped the audio. My hands shook. I played the rest. We'll say she pushed me. We'll say she broke me. The internet will destroy her. Then she pays, Carol said. She pays everything. Or she loses everything, Robert added. Her job, her name, her future. They laughed again. I turned off the file. My apartment felt cold. They weren't asking for help. They were planning to bury me alive. I called my lawyer. Get ready, I said. They're going public. Public how? Live stream. Fake suicide. Full performance. She cursed under her breath. I'll contact the platforms. We'll need evidence ready. Send me everything, I said. Every photo, every recording. Done. I hung up. Then I called the detective. Watch them, I said. Tell me the moment they move. The next morning, it started. I saw the live stream link in my notifications. The title screamed, "Millionaire daughter killed her cousin." I clicked. Carol's face filled my screen. She stood outside a hospital. Fake tears. Shaking hands. Full drama. "Please," she sobbed. "Please help us. My son drank poison. He's dying. All because my niece refused to help." She held up a paper. A suicide note. I zoomed in. The handwriting matched Thomas's. But Thomas wasn't in the hospital. The detective texted me. Asterisk is in the parking garage. Lower level. Black Honda. Asterisk. Asterisk is watching the stream. Asterisk. I laughed. Then my mother appeared on screen. She looked broken. Hollow. Old. Carol pushed her forward. "Tell her," Carol hissed. "Tell your daughter to save him." My mother fell to her knees. "Elena," she whispered. "Please. Save your cousin. Please." The chat exploded. "Monster. Ungrateful child. Send her to jail." I watched. My chest burned. But I didn't cry. I called my lawyer. "Send the evidence now. All of it. Make it viral. Done." I watched the chat. Suddenly, a new comment appeared. "Thomas is alive. He's in the parking garage. Eating chips." Carol froze. "Lies," she shouted. "Fake news. It's Elena's bots." Then the photos dropped. Robert gambling. The loan documents. The red paint. The chat turned. Wait. Who owes 300,000? Where is Thomas? Then the video went live. Someone had filmed Thomas. He sat in his Honda. Phone in hand. Chips in his mouth. He watched his mother cry on screen. He smiled. The stream broke. Thousands of people typed at once. "Fraud. Scam artists. Call the police." Carol screamed. "Stop. It's fake. All fake." But the damage was done. Then the door burst open on screen. 4 men walked in. Tattoos. Shaved heads. Broken teeth. The leader grabbed Carol by her hair. "You owe us," he growled. 300,000. "Where is it?" "Please. You have 1 hour. Or we take Thomas's legs." The stream went black. Platform took it down. But the clips spread everywhere. Elena was right trended within minutes. I sat in my office. My phone buzzed. My mother's name appeared. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. "Elena," she wept. "Please, please help them. They're family." I deleted it. The next day, Robert called. "I'm sorry," he said. "I'm so sorry. We just needed." "You needed my money." "Yes. I mean, no. We. You planned to destroy me." "Elena, please. Your father." "Don't say his name." I hung up. Then I blocked him. That night, Carol showed up. She banged on my door, screamed until her voice broke. I looked through the peephole. She looked ragged, bruised, terrified. The loan sharks had already visited. "Please," she begged. "We'll lose everything. Thomas will die." I opened the door. "You should have asked," I said. "You should have told the truth." I know. Instead you made me the enemy. Elena, You made my mother choose. I closed the door. She kept knocking. I put in headphones. The next morning, I found Thomas at my building. He sat on the steps, crying, broken. Elena, he said, they took my car. They took my phone. They'll take my hands next. Then you should have thought about that. I was scared. Scared enough to lie. Scared enough to make me the villain. He didn't answer. I walked past him. At the office, I filed for a restraining order. Against everyone. Mother included. Then I called my lawyer. File the lawsuit. Full damages. Public record. You sure? I'm sure. The papers went out that afternoon. I didn't look back. But I knew they'd fight. They had nothing left to lose. And desperate people do desperate things. I waited. Chapter 3 would bring the final battle. But I was ready. I had the truth. I had the evidence. And I had nothing to hide. Chapter 3. My mother called me at midnight. I almost didn't answer, but something in her voice sounded different. Elena, please, meet me tomorrow. Where? The coffee shop. The one near your old school. Why? I have something to show you. Show me now. Not on the phone. It's too dangerous. I paused. Fine. 10 a.m. I hung up. That night I couldn't sleep. My mother never asked to meet. She begged. She cried. She screamed. But she never asked. Something had changed. The next morning, I arrived early. She sat in the corner. She looked smaller than before. Her hands trembled around a cup. I sat across from her. You came, she said. Talk. She pushed a folder across the table. Open it. I opened. Inside were documents, bank records, letters, photocopies. Robert forged Dad's signature, she said. What? He tried to claim more survivor benefits. Years ago, he wanted to sell Dad's life insurance policy. He couldn't do that. He almost did. I stopped him. I stared at the papers. These are proof. Keep them. Her voice cracked. Use them. Why now? She looked down. Because they planned to destroy you. You knew that. I knew. But I didn't help. Why? She cried. Because I was weak. Because Robert threatened to leave me alone. Because I was scared. Scared of what? Of being nobody. She wiped her face. Your father was my whole life. When he died, Robert took his place. He told me what to do. He made me believe I needed him. You didn't. I know that now. I closed the folder. Mom. She looked up. I can't forgive you. Not yet. Maybe never. I know. But thank you. For this. She nodded. Then she stood. I'll testify, she said. In court. I'll tell everything. Even if it hurts Robert. Robert destroyed my daughter. He deserves nothing. She walked out. I watched her go. Something in me softened. Just a little. That afternoon, I gave the evidence to my lawyer. This changes everything, she said. How? Fraud. Forgery. Conspiracy. We can add charges. Do it. The next week passed in silence. Robert called twice. I didn't answer. Thomas sent a text. Please. I'll do anything. I deleted it. Carol showed up at my building again. Security escorted her out. Then the court date arrived. I walked into the courtroom. My mother sat on the plaintiff's side. With me, Robert, Carol, and Thomas sat across the room. They looked broken. Robert wore a cheap suit. Carol's makeup ran. Thomas limped. The loan sharks had already taken his car and his pride. The judge entered. Case number 2024-189. Elena Vance versus Robert Vance et al. My lawyer began. Your Honor, the defendant family conspired to defraud my client of $150,000. They fabricated a medical emergency. They staged a public harassment campaign. They attempted to destroy her career. She presented photos, audio, video, The screen showed Robert gambling. It showed the loan documents. It showed Carol screaming outside my office. Thomas's fake suicide note appeared. The courtroom gasped. Then my lawyer played the audio. Robert's voice filled the room. We'll say she pushed him. We'll say she broke him. The internet will destroy her. Carol's voice answered. Then she pays everything. The judge's face darkened. Defendants. How do you plead? Robert stood. Not guilty. She's lying. She manipulated evidence. He pointed at me. She ruined us. She made us desperate. I didn't make you gamble, I said. Silence, the judge warned. Robert's lawyer spoke next. Your Honor, my client is a victim of circumstance. His family was in crisis. He made poor choices under pressure. Poor choices? My lawyer laughed. He forged a veteran's signature. He tried to steal survivor benefits. He planned a media attack on his own niece. She presented the new documents. Here is evidence of fraud against the United States government. Robert Vance attempted to claim additional benefits under a false identity. Robert went pale. That's not. You forged my father's signature, I said. You used his name. You tried to steal from his legacy. The courtroom went silent. The judge reviewed the papers. Mr. Vance, is this your handwriting? Robert shook. I don't. The judge held up a copy. This signature matches your bank records. The forgery is clear. Robert collapsed back into his chair. Carol screamed. No, it was his idea. He made us do everything. She pointed at Robert. He gambled. He lost. He planned the scheme. I just followed him. Thomas joined in. She's right. Dad forced us. I didn't want any of this. The family turned on each other. Perfect chaos. I watched them break apart. My mother gripped my arm. Elena, she whispered. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't pull away. The judge slammed his gavel. Order. Order in the court. Everyone stopped. He looked at Robert. Mr. Vance, you are charged with fraud, conspiracy, and harassment. How do you plead? Robert looked at Carol, at Thomas. They both looked away. He had no allies. Did you fake your own suicide? Yes. Did you plan the live stream? Yes. He looked at me. I'm sorry, Elena. I really am. I didn't respond. The judge addressed the court. I have reviewed all evidence. The defendants conspired to extort money from the plaintiff. They engaged in fraud, harassment, and defamation. He read the sentence. Robert Vance, 5 years probation, restitution of $300,000, and community service. Carol, 3 years probation, restitution, and a public apology. Thomas, 2 years probation, restitution, and mandatory counseling. My mother's name came next. Mrs. Margaret Vance, you misappropriated survivor benefits. How do you plead? She stood. Guilty. My heart tightened. You will repay the full amount. $82,470. You have 6 months. I understand. The judge banged his gavel. Court adjourned. The room emptied. Robert and Carol were led away. Thomas limped out with his attorney. My mother sat beside me. Elena. I looked at her. I'll pay the money. Every penny. I know. Will you? She hesitated. Will you ever speak to me again? I thought about it. Maybe, I said. Not today. But maybe. She nodded. Take care of yourself. I will. She walked away. I left the courthouse alone. The sun hit my face. I felt lighter. But something wasn't finished. The loan sharks still hunted Robert. Thomas still owed debts. My mother still lived alone. And I still carried the weight of 18 years. That night, I received a call. From a hospital. Your mother was in an accident. My blood went cold. She collapsed outside her apartment. We admitted her. Is she okay? Stable. But she's asking for you. I hung up. I drove to the hospital. My mother lay in a white bed. Her face was pale. Her hands were thin. Elena, she whispered. I sat beside her. I'm here. I'm so sorry, she said. I wasted everything. Don't talk. I need to say it. She coughed. I loved your father more than anything. When he died, I broke. Robert filled the hole. He promised to take care of me, but he took everything instead. Mom, I should have protected you. I should have chosen you. Her eyes filled with tears. Can you forgive me? Someday. I held her hand. I'm working on it. She smiled. That night, I stayed. I held her hand until dawn. She slept. I watched the sun rise. Somewhere in the city, Robert counted his losses. Somewhere Thomas hid from collectors. And my mother finally slept without fear. I had won the legal battle, but the war inside me continued. I wasn't free yet, but I was closer. Chapter 4 would bring the final piece, or final break. I waited. Chapter 4. My mother stayed in the hospital for 3 weeks. I visited every day. She got stronger. Her color returned. Her voice came back. I sold the house, she told me one afternoon. The old one? Yes. I gave the money to you. I don't want it. Take it. Please. She handed me a check. 82,000. I added interest, she said. I looked at the number. You didn't have to. I wanted to. I took the check. Then I hugged her. It was the first hug in years. She cried. I didn't. But I felt something break inside me. Not bad. Just different. That night, I went home. I looked at the check. I thought about my father. He would have wanted peace. He would have wanted healing. I made a decision. The next morning, I called my lawyer. I want to start a foundation. Under what name? My father's. I named it the James Vance Memorial Fund. It would help families of fallen officers. It would pay for college. It would offer counseling. I used the money. All of it. I added my own savings. The foundation launched in 2 months. I was the director. I didn't go back to corporate work. I didn't need it. I needed purpose. My mother came to the launch. She wore a blue dress. She smiled. She shook hands. She told strangers about my father. He was a hero, she said. And my daughter is his legacy. I watched her. Something had changed. She was lighter, less desperate, less broken. Robert called her that week. She didn't answer. Carol showed up at her door. She didn't open. Thomas sent letters. She burned them. I'm done, she told me. They don't exist anymore. Are you sure? Yes. She looked at me. I have you. That's enough. I didn't say it back, but I felt it. 3 months passed. The foundation grew. We helped 12 families. We paid for 5 college tuitions. We offered therapy to 23 children. I met a man at a fundraiser. His name was Daniel. He taught history at the local college. He was kind. He was patient. He didn't push. Tell me about your father, he said. I told him everything. The good parts, the hard parts, the parts one never shared. He listened. Your father would be proud, he said. Thank you. We started dating. It was slow. It was safe. It was mine. One night, I got a call. Thomas, I need help, he said. No, please. They're going to kill me. Call the police. Elena, you made your choices. I made mine. I hung up. I blocked his number. I didn't feel guilty. The next week, Thomas showed up at the foundation. He limped. His face was bruised. His hands shook. Elena, please, just hear me. Security. Wait, I have something. He pulled out a folder. Robert kept records of everything. The fraud, the forgery, the threats. I already have those. No, you don't have these. He opened the folder. Inside were photos. Robert meeting with loan sharks. Robert paying them. Robert planning to flee the country. These are from 2 weeks ago, Thomas said. His running. He already ran. To Mexico. I looked at the photos. They were real. Where did you get these? I followed him. Before they broke my leg. He pointed at his cast. They found out I had these. Why did you follow him? Because I wanted to stop him. Stop him from what? From coming after you. I stared at him. Thomas, I know I did terrible things. I know you can't forgive me, but I couldn't let him hurt you again. He cried. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted you to know. I took the folder. Thank you. He nodded. Tell the police. They'll find him. I will. He limped away. I called the authorities. They arrested Robert in Cancun 3 days later. His extradition took 2 weeks. He was sentenced to 7 years. Carol got 5 years probation. Thomas got counseling and community service. He showed up to every session. He volunteered at the foundation. He cleaned the offices. He organized files. He worked without complaint. My mother watched him. He's trying, she said. I know. Maybe people can change. Maybe. I watched Thomas work. He was different. Quieter. Less entitled. More humble. I didn't trust him, but I didn't hate him. That was progress. Daniel proposed 6 months later. We stood on the beach. The sun set behind us. Elena Vance, he said, will you marry me? I looked at him. I thought about my father. I thought about my mother. I thought about every lonely night I survived. Yes, I said. He put the ring on my finger. I cried. He held me. My mother threw the wedding. She planned everything. She made the cake. She arranged the flowers. She cried the whole time. Your father would have loved this, she said. I know. I'm so proud of you. She meant it. I felt it. The wedding was small. Just family. Just friends. Daniel's parents came. They hugged me. They welcomed me. Thomas came. He gave a toast. To Elena, he said, the strongest woman I know. I'm sorry for everything. I'm grateful for everything. He didn't cry, but his voice broke. I nodded at him. That was enough. After the wedding, we moved to a small house. Near the beach, near the foundation, near my mother. She lived 3 blocks away. She visited every Sunday. She baked cookies. She told stories about my father. She laughed. She smiled. She was free. 1 year passed. The foundation grew more. We built a community center. We named it after my father. I became a board member. Daniel taught classes there. My mother volunteered. Thomas became a janitor. He worked hard. He made friends. He paid his debts. The loan sharks stopped calling. He was free too. Christmas came. We gathered at my mother's house. She decorated everything. She cooked a big meal. Daniel held my hand. Thomas sat in the corner. He smiled. He didn't ask for anything. After dinner, my mother pulled me aside. She handed me an envelope. Open it. I opened. Inside was a letter from my father, written before he died, to my daughter Elena. If you're reading this, I'm gone. I want you to know I love you. I want you to be strong. I want you to build a life that makes you happy. Don't let anyone dim your light. Not even your mother. I believe in you. Always, Dad. I read it 3 times. Then I cried. My mother held me. He wrote it the week before he died, she said. He gave it to me. I was supposed to give it to you at 18, but I didn't. I was too angry. I was too broken. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's not okay, but I'm giving it now. I hugged her. Thank you. That night, I sat alone. I read the letter again. I felt my father beside me. I felt his pride. I felt his love. I finally felt whole. Daniel found me on the porch. You okay? I nodded. I'm more than okay. He sat beside me. We watched the stars. I thought about everything. The money, the lies, the betrayals, the courtroom, the hospital, the forgiveness. I had survived. I had grown. I had chosen differently. That was the real victory. Not winning the case, not punishing my family, but freeing myself. My mother still had her flaws. Thomas still had his scars. Carol still had her pride. But I had my peace. That was enough. The next morning, I visited the foundation. I walked through the community center. I saw children laughing. I saw parents smiling. I saw hope. Thomas mopped the floor. He waved. I waved back. My mother led a support group. She helped other widows. She found purpose. She found joy. Daniel taught a history class. His students loved him. I watched from the door. I smiled. This was my life now. Not perfect, but mine. I thought about the phone call that started everything. The demand for money, the threats, the manipulation. It felt like another lifetime, because it was. I had moved on. I had healed. I had built something new. That evening, I sat on the beach. The waves crashed. The sun dipped low. I held Daniel's hand. Are you happy? He asked. Yes. Really? Really? I looked at the horizon. I thought about my father. I thought about his letter. I thought about the little girl who couldn't afford spring trips. That girl was gone. In her place stood a woman. Strong. Independent. Free. I had won. Not because I took everything, but because I let go. I let go of anger. I let go of debt. I let go of the past. And I found myself. My mother walked toward us. She carried a blanket. She sat beside me. Can I stay? Always. She leaned on my shoulder. We watched the sunset together. 3 generations. Survivors. Healed. The sky turned orange. Then pink. Then deep blue. Stars appeared. I made a wish. Not for money. Not for revenge. For peace. For my mother. For Thomas. For myself. The waves answered. They didn't speak. But I understood. Life moves forward. You can't change the past. But you can change tomorrow. I chose tomorrow. Every single day. I looked at Daniel. He kissed my forehead. Ready to go home? Yes. We walked back together. My mother followed. Thomas passed us on his bike. He waved. We waved back. The community center glowed in the distance. Children played outside. Parents watched. Laughter filled the air. I stopped. I watched them. This was my legacy. Not revenge. Not money. This. Hope. Family. Healing. I smiled. Then I walked inside. And I closed the door on the past forever.